Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing something never done before on my channel, and that's play a format called Penny Dreadful. This was a request from subscriber Duocat who wanted me to try the format, and I'm open to it. Let's see what it's about. So, if you've never heard of this format, and I had heard of it before this request, but I've never played it and never really dug into it, what this format is every card costs 2 cents or less. That's the rule. If you want to dig into it, pennydreadfulmagic.com has all the rules. They run leagues, they run tournaments, they have like metagame breakdowns and stuff. They're pretty serious about this. So if you're looking for a budget format, this is a place to go. So like I said, every card has to cost 2 cents or less on Magic Online. This is a Magic Online only format. You build your deck freeform, and then you find games in the constructed open play area. And the way that the budget or the cost works is every time a new set comes out, the prices of cards are locked in for 3 months. So you don't have to like wake up every morning and check MTGO traders to make sure that your deck is still legal. Like there is a legal card pool for 3 months at a time. And the meta is kind of hilariously self-correcting, because if a deck gets too good, the Penny Dreadful community starts buying those cards, and then they cost more money, and then they're not legal for the next 3 months. So it's kind of really cool that that's a thing. This deck was sent to me by Duocat, wanted me to try out. This is Blue-Black Delver, and you see some pretty interesting choices in here, because like the removal is all like a little wonky, because like Fatal Push obviously costs more than 2 cents. Delver gets under the line, but Spellstutter Sprite doesn't. So I feel like I would want Spellstutter Sprite in this deck, but you can't play it. Gurmag Angler costs too much, but Tasigur doesn't, so you get the rare version instead of the common version, just because of, playability. Venser Shaper Savant and Treasure Cruise, powerful cards. One of them banned in Legacy, one sees occasional Legacy play, are fine in this format. And you got Duress, but not Thoughtseize, not Inquisition of Kozilek. So there's a lot of fun card choices here. Memory Lapse, but you don't get Counterspell. So this is going to be pretty cool. This deck is currently like 3.5 tickets on Magic Online, which means that some of the cards have crept up over the course of the season, but because the prices were locked in, this one is still good to go. But I think Venser is over the line right now, but it wasn't at the beginning of the season, so next season Venser won't be legal. So this is pretty cool. I don't know what we're going to get into. PennyDreadfulMagic.com had that huge metagame breakdown, but I thought it would be more interesting if I just didn't look at any of it and just jumped in with this deck and tried to figure it out on the fly. So let's go see what this format feels like when we're in the games. To me, it kind of looks like Pauper, but less powerful. But it's sort of like what Pauper wants to be spiritually. Like, obviously there are rares, but they're cheaper than a lot of the commons. Like I said, Gurmag Angler, Spellstutter Sprite, we don't get those, but we do get Tasigur and Venser. So this is going to be sweet. Let's see how this works. So this is how you get a game of Penny Dreadful. It's a format that is on Magic Online, but it is not actually a supported format. It's run by the community. Scryfall and MTG Goldfish and all of those sites do track Penny Dreadful legality if you upload a deck to them or look at a card. But Magic Online doesn't run actual leagues. So I'm going to be in the specialty freeform tournament practice room. And you see here PD League, or Pre-Modern, PD League, PD League, PD League. So people are here playing Penny Dreadful, and that's what I'm here to do too. So I'm going to queue up into some of these folks. I'm on the draw here. I have a turn 1 Delver with Hieroglyphic Illumination to take some game actions if I don't find the swamp. Let's get our beats in. So in order to jump into this league, so It's not a Magic Online supported league, but it is an actual league, if that makes sense. PennyDreadfulMagic.com. You can join leagues for free, and then you report your results through Penny Dreadful Magic, and they actually run a tournament series over the course of the month. And I am currently enrolled in it. I actually kind of want that. I feel like I can push through with that. Probably should have cycled Illumination with my free mana, but let's get in here. I got Delver beating down. Treasure Cruise in the bin. Alright, Forbidden Alchemy. I'm not going to counter that. I feel like I want to attack the payoff instead of the enabler. I wonder if Reanimator is supported. I mean, this has to be Reanimator, right? Why would this card be in a deck if it's not Reanimator? Oh, actual Animate Dead. They have Counterspell to back it up. Wow, strong. Okay, so they lapsed my lapse. Alright, so now I need to find some black mana to Heartless Act this thing. I found it. What does this actually do? My creatures are smaller. Discard Waker of the Waves. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Okay, so that thing can discard itself. I'm just going to kill it. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Out of here. And I have the Memory Lapse in my hand. They know that because they put it there. Turns out Delver is like still strong in other formats. I will continue throwing this poop against the wall. Alright, this one's in for real. I just need... If I find a second black, I can kill this thing. Pay me. Pretty sure that's how this card works. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, yes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite at Treasure Cruise yet. It's pretty sweet that Animate Dead is legal in this format. I would think that card is more expensive than that. But what do I know? Very little. Ooh, Fairy Vandal. I want another threat in play. I don't feel good just crunching with this one Delver. Then I have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now I got threats in play. And I have Bloodchief Thirst on top of the deck if they do reanimate their thing again. Ooh, white mana. Oost. I've been oosted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I can't cast a spell. Can't cast any spells. Alright. Well, Oust was good. They're at 1. Yeah, leading with the Tasigur, I was just trying to put lethal on board through a removal spell, which I did end up... I mean, they didn't die, but if I didn't play Tasigur, they could have ousted Delver, then I'm just attacking for 1 every turn. Not super into that. Alright, Nile Spellbomb. I understand what this is for now. Agonizing Remorse hits the graveyard or the hand. So pretty sure I just want to go like all the way in on this combo disruptive stuff. Heartless Act. Alright, Flunk isn't good enough. That's not going to kill a 7/7. I don't think I'm going to have time for multiple Treasure Cruises. Bloodchief Thirst was reasonable. Like I do feel like I need to kill these things once they're in play. Exile target creature or destroy target creature or enchantment. Okay, so I can destroy the Animate Dead. I don't have to take 8 from destroying the Leviathan thing. I can destroy the Animate instead. Maybe I want to do this more than I want to Duress. Like, bringing in 12 cards seems excessive when that matchup already felt pretty good for me. What is not as good? I mean, Venser seems great. Tasigur seems pretty bad against the Oust deck, actually. Memory Lapse. If I'm bringing in these discard spells, the counter spells get a lot worse. And I think I want all the cantrips because I still want to keep feeding the Delve spell, the Treasure Cruise. And maybe Bloodchief Thirst is worse now that I Feed the Swarm. I can do the same thing for 2 mana instead of 4. Okay, I'm in for this. Makes sense to me. Again, not knowing what the deck does other than put that Leviathan into play. This seems like a reasonable sideboard plan. No lander, ship it. 1 lander with lots of disruption, I'll keep this. I think that no, Bloodchief Thirst is the worst card here for sure. Don't know how fast these decks actually are. Ooh, Arkham's Astrolabe is in this format. Good to know. There's an actual dual land in the format. Right, so I think I need to opt or sleight of hand for my land drop. All right, got there kinda. So let's hope they don't go off this turn. Oh no, Archfiend. Okay. They put a monster in the bin, but can't animate it. Let's get my insurance policy in here. Cycle. Still trying to hit land drops. I can activate this for free. I just don't get to draw a card. Oh, that alchemy is so forbidden. I'm just going to sit on this until I can draw a card off it or until they commit something to it. Still think I would rather draw a card than do anything else. Would I rather draw a card or just have 2 of these in play? I think I'd rather, let's just make sure I don't lose for now. So at some point they're going to be able to hard cast their creatures. They're like an Esper deck, and Archfiend of Ifnir costs 5, so they're like almost there already. They can cast it next turn. Sheesh. Alright. Let's take a peek. Mana leak, you got it. Yeah, this is a 17 land deck. I mean, it's a Delver deck, so this is a thing that can happen, especially without Brainstorm. And you have Ponder and some other good cantrips, but it's not quite the same. I think I want to try to find the land. Just having 2 of these makes me more happy to do that. Alright, got there. Agony. Lapsing the Agony, so that's back on top of my deck. So I can fire it again next turn. Alchemy, Oust in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alchemy costs 8 to flashback? 7. 7. Alright. Pauper All-Star, Forbidden Alchemy. I think I want to try to get a threat into play. Is it time? And I have a second spell I can cast to trigger this right away. Alright, not interested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 short to Treasure Cruise. But they have 4 cards in hand to my 6 at this point. Ooh, Crawling Barrens. That's a win con. Oh, and this jerk is just in play now. Alright, that's fine. I have the Heartless Act. I'm gonna pop this, clear their Forbidden Alchemy, and draw a card. So I have another Spell Bomb. Alright, that worked out well. So I want to Heartless Act this. And then Remorse them. Magister of Worth. Oh, wow. The cards in this format are awesome. Alright, I'm going to take the Magister. Didn't even read it, but it's gone. What does that card actually do? You vote when it enters the battlefield. If Grace gets more votes, each player returns each creature card from the graveyard from the battlefield. If Condemnation gets more votes or is tied, destroy all creatures. Okay, so it's a Wrath. Alright, I mean, that's going to hurt, but I got it covered. So, I could Bloodchief Thirst this, but getting the Treasure Cruise in under Memory Lapse seems like it's going to be really important. So I think I want to feed the Swarm. I'll just take my 9 damage. Reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to leave my creature in the graveyard. I don't know if Exhume is legal in the format, but I don't want to... if they does resolve, I want to put my creature into play. Memory Lapse is the only thing going on over there. I'll take lands. Alright, Delver. Carry me home. I'm probably supposed to ponder there. Oh right, that thing. I'm gonna need an instant speed removal spell for that. It's gonna like pivot and kill me pretty quick. It's already a 4/4. Wow. Good stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't cast Ponder. 6. Yeah, I'm dead very quickly to this card. Not gonna block. Alright, so I'm gonna cast this. They'll probably Memory Lapse it. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll Spellbomb them and pick it back up. Yeah, do I even have any instant speed removal? I mean, it's just the Heartless Act, which I've already used. Not good. Oh, Venser, what's up? Alright, whoa. Put this one in my hand, for sure. One card in their hand over there. This costs what, 4 to do? Alright, yeah, it's time to Vents. And hope they don't have removal. Yeah, get you out of here. Ponder to set up the Delver. Oh, JK didn't set up anything. Alright, time to tempo out that creature land. It's gonna be tough. Oh, jeez. Oh, I can beat that. Delver of Secrets, do not reveal that. Draw. Thirst. Delver. This costs 4, so I can attack. I mean, if they animate it and try to block, I get to feed the Swarm, which is insane for me. Oh, this is exciting. This has been a great game. This format's cool. Barons. They're active as a 4/4. If I don't block, I lose. So I better block, huh? I think... Am I at a point where I should be cycling Illumination? I don't know, I'm being greedy. I have a hard time walking away from a Divination. Alright, Delver's in. Estuary's in. Back for 5. This race is rough. If they have any way to remove this Delver, I'm going to lose, but if I don't keep my pedal to the metal, I'm also going to lose. In a game like this, I think I actually should have... I regret boarding out one of the Treasure Cruises. Must block. Draw my one of Treasure Cruise here, please. Or the second Venser. Ooh. Oh, I can feed the Swarm on that. Uh, take the Ponder. Pass Ponder. Looking for the second Venser. Got there. Do not shuffle my library. Feed the Swarm. Destroy Animate Dead. Attack with these two and just hope they don't have a counterspell in their hand. I'm just going to move in now. We've seen Neutralize in the hand. Oh, keep this one. Or we've seen Neutralize in the deck, so I don't want to let them untap into 3 mana. Alright, I mean, now we're actually kind of ahead. Alright, another Animate. I have another Feed. And I have Nile Spellbomb that's coming. I know my top card is Island, which I'm not really in the market for. Okay, so I get to attack for 3, put them to 3. Fencer blocks, and then they're dead. I just need them to brick on their draw, because I know my draw is a brick. Juicing up the Barons. Alright, removal spell. Oh, thick boy. That does keep them alive for a turn. I better draw a card here. So I know this is an island. And then removal spell? Oh my god. Did we do it? It's looking good, team. Do they have something here? Wow, that was a great match. Alright, so I just played against Coke's Metal. So if I'm in this league, my opponent was Coke's Metal. And the result was win 2-0, and I report my match. And that's how the Penny Dreadful League works. On to the next round. I'm on the draw with a Treasure Cruise hand. Not much else going on, but let's run it. What? This card is in the format? What's up, Magic Online? Why isn't that card in my deck? I feel like playing that as a one-of is kind of free. That's worth a screenshot. Jesus. That's going to be hard to beat. I wonder if you... Yeah, so there's no banned or restricted list. They let the prices dictate all of that. So this library could be in their deck as a 4-of. Guacamole. Wow, I'm still reeling from that, just being in the format. Big fan. I feel like I want to add one of those to this deck immediately. Some sort of white library deck. Skull Clamp is in this format too. Wow. Okay. Alright, Penny Dreadful, I see you. Alright, so my plan is to flash in Fairy Vandal in the end step and then start pushing for damage. That's the only way I'm gonna beat this. Like, I'm not gonna out-control them. Right, they've drawn 2 cards off library already for no investment of any kind. Just put their land into play. That's why this card is broken. If you've never actually seen library in play, this is what we're talking about. That's why it's a, like, several $1,000 Magic card in real life. The good news is, if I Bloodchief Thirst this Ornithopter, the Skull Clamp will put them over the library cards in hand. I guess, if you want to call that good news. Alright, that was actually great. I hit a second spell to cast. So now I can keep the... Oh, it's when you draw a second card each turn. Oh, that's not what I thought this card did. Alright, luckily I found Opt, so I got to do it anyway. I thought this was if you cast 2 spells in a turn. Alright, it's a lot easier to trigger than I thought. Alright, now it's time to push damage, and I can Bloodchief Thirst, Opt, and still hold up Memory Lapse next turn. So Memory Lapse is a lot worse against the deck with Library of Alexandria in it. Oh, they tried to tap it, but you already have 10 cards in hand. Not on my watch. So I suspect with, if they're in Ornithopter deck, I'm pretty sure Memnite is more than 2 cents, so they shouldn't have that one. But they should be able to get their hand down to 7. Mortar Pod, yikes. Alright, well, if they equip Skull Clamp to that, it dies. So they can't ping me. Okay. That works. And now they're down to 7 cards again. They've made their land drop, though. This deck is super cool. Yeah, if you're a brewer, whether you're on a budget or not, if you're a brewer, this seems like a really insane format. Alright, so let's opt. Let's keep this party going. Just working up to this Treasure Cruise. Just be alive until Treasure Cruise shows up is the plan. I can't play Delver because they have Mortar Pod in play. And that just dies instantly. Oh, I'm going to keep pushing through this. I think pushing for damage is more important than saving cards in my hand. Because like I said, I'm not winning the card advantage game. So basically, all I can really hope for is to choke them with cards in their hand and Memory Lapse my way into a Treasure Cruise while pushing for damage. And this is becoming a pretty respectable threat here. And 3-4 is no joke. Alright, now I can lapse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I can Treasure Cruise and lapse again next turn. Though, I mean, lapsing seems pretty medium against the deck full of zeros. And I guess Library isn't really free. You do have to have a deck with artifacts. Like, you have to be able to use colorless mana. But at the same time, wow. Maybe they'll play some, like, 4-drop payoff here. Battle Screech is probably too expensive for the format. Just because that's a Pauper staple. I'm sure it's more than 2 cents, even with the reprint recently. Imperial Plate. Wow. Nope. Yeah, the old, this is suddenly a 8-9. Yeah, so let's tread some water through that Imperial Plate for a little while. They could clamp the Germ and redraw the plate immediately, but then they wouldn't have a Germ. This deck is crazy. Quarter Shield, another 0, so that does let them activate Library. And if they activate Library and still have their land drop, then they can replay the plate this turn. Right, it looks like they don't have their land drop. Alright, so Cruise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the reload I've been waiting for. If I can remove the Germ, that would make that Imperial Plate a lot less scary. Maybe I'm supposed to play my island before I cruise, because if I have to Memory Lapse a removal spell here, then, like, Dispatch is probably in this format. I can't imagine that card is particularly expensive. Though, I'm not going to be able to beat Dispatch anyway, because Memory Lapse doesn't really answer it, at least not in a way that matters. So, I think I want to ponder for a removal spell for Germ. Flunk. Oh my god. Target creature gets -X/-X, where X is 7 minus the number of cards in that creature's controller's hand. This is a pump spell. The Germ doesn't actually get bigger because that's not how the rules of Magic work, but my opponent is going to have 7 cards in their hand at all times. Though, if at any point they don't, this actually becomes pretty reasonable. I guess I should keep it. Just it does kind of play. I don't know. It seems it's risky. I don't think it's gonna work. But if they ever do tap or deploy cards, even just like 6 cards in hand kills the germ, and then I'm way ahead on this board. Alright, whatever. That's crazy. Fucking flunk. Alright, they take 4 this turn, 5 next turn, 6 the turn after that. So 4, 9, 15. They're on a 3-turn clock. This does not grant reach. If I had an extra mana laying around, I mean, maybe I should have played Delver because the germ is their threat that they have that they can put the plate on. I don't know. I can lapse the plate again, and that gets me another turn, and then I just need to survive 1 turn after that to get over the finish line. Hieroglyphic Illumination triggers this on their turn, so I can actually put 2 counters on it, though I don't think that matters. Ponder and Sleight of Hand are my top 2. The Ponder will trigger this up to 5 next turn, and then I can Ponder into Sleight, try to find a removal or another counterspell. If they remove this Fairy Vandal, I don't think I can win. We're just riding the bus here. Mox Opals in this format, wow. I wonder if my opponent is cheating. Like, I actually don't know if any of these cards are legal in the format, or like someone could queue in with whatever they want and I wouldn't know the difference. Like, maybe they are just nope, 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 not buying it. Hold on. Hold on. All right. MTG Goldfish. Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, this card is 2.5 tickets. Yeah, my opponent is not playing Penny Dreadful. I guess this is like part of what happens when you join the the queues. Whatever, I'll play out the game, see if I win anyway. I guess I should check if they're actually in the league. It's mixed veg. Yeah, they're not even in the league. They just queued into whatever they wanted here. So Basilisk Collar does combo with Germ to kill this creature. I might as well Memory Lapse, I guess. Because if they have a land... Oh, they have Opal, so they actually could kill the fairy right now. Alright. All of my excitement over Mox Opal and Library is just wrong. This is just a freeform deck. They don't care what Penny Dreadful is. They don't even know. Let's see if I can beat them anyway. Germ is not going to attack, because there's no reason to. +0, +3, and Vig. Is Library actually 2 cents? Because I would believe that on Magic Online. Library. Alexandria. Oh no, even that's a 1 ticket and a half. Alright. Opponent is just not even playing the format. At least we're having a good game. Going up to 8 cards in hand. Oh, just to play the second library. Gotcha. Oh, not even a legend. I never noticed that. Unreal. Alright, so I have to ponder first. The second Fairy Vandal is kind of exciting. That does give me a chance to win this game. Don't shuffle the library. That triggers. In for my 5. So they get to destroy my big fairy and gain 1 life next turn with Basilisk Collar. I guess Fairy Vandal has flash, so I don't need to deploy it now. And if they somehow miss sequence and end up with 6 cards in hand, I can fry the germ before they can pop. But that seems unlikely with 2 libraries chunking. Outrageous. I'm gonna concede this match. Like, I'm not going back in for game 2 or 3 because this is not the point. But at this point, I'm invested in beating this casual person. Oh, Mana Crypt. Uh, Pretty sure I did post this as a Penny Dreadful match. Let's see. Yep. Penny Dreadful League. That is what I said. I'm not going to get mad. Like, I'm not mad about it because I feel like that's not necessarily an obvious thing to know what it is. Okay, so if they play the Basilisk Collar before they draw cards, alright, they didn't fall for it. I was about to say I would be able to flunk the germ. I need my opponent to flunk this game in order to have a chance of winning. But Delver is going to flip. So that's relevant. But they can also fling the Stoneforge Mystic at the Delver. Like, they can use the Mortar Pod. Or do they have enough mana for all this? Well, yeah, they just played Mana Crypt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Yeah, they have exactly enough to equip Basilisk Collar to the Germ, kill this, and then move Mortar Pod over, kill this, draw 2 cards. Yeah, so we went from playing Penny Dreadful. We're just playing against literally no holes barred Magic the Gathering. Just all cards are legal. You can have Mana Crypt and 2 Library of Alexandrias if you want. Just go nuts. Everything is made up and the points don't matter. Alright, so they can... or they didn't equip Basilisk Collar, so... I was going to say they can ping with the Germ, then pick up Mortar Pod and fire it back in, but... I mean, I guess they can still do all that. They picked up their Mana Crypt. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Nice combo. I wish my deck had 4 Ancestral Recalls in it. Then we might have a fair game here. They've equipped the Collar. Sword of Fire, nice. Oh, no. They equipped the Collar in the correct order, so even if I flunk this thing now, it still gets to ping me. Okay, they're equipping a creature that can't attack. Like, Stoneforge Mystic is in play right now. It can turn sideways. I don't understand. Alright, I don't think that's going to matter. I mean, Sword of Fire and Ice, the modern and legacy staple that is definitely more than 2 cents, is going to beat my Penny Dreadful deck. I could flunk the Stoneforge Mystic if I feel like that's important, but I don't think that it is. Alright, so I'm going to flash in my Fairy Vandal in the end step. Not sure how I'm getting through the Sword of Fire and Ice. I guess I need Venser to bounce the sword. But if that's the play, then I should probably cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination to get deeper into the deck, because the top 2 cards in my deck are both Sleight of Hand, and I'm going to need mana to cast them both plus Spencer. Right, if this turn doesn't get through the sword, I'm just going to concede the match, because this was a good use of my time. Right, Delver flips, revealing Sleight of Hand. Let's go. Try to string something together here. The land is more important than the memory lapse. I need to beat the board. Well, got where I wanted to go here. If I bounce the sword, no, I think it is better to... I really wish I had drawn an extra card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, in perfect hindsight, it would have been better to hold Hieroglyphic Illumination because then I can go Glint Hawk. But I'm not beating this anyway, so I found what I was looking for. It's just not good enough. Okay, I'm going to concede the game in the match. My opponent is not even playing the format that I'm trying to play, so I'm out of here. Good games, I guess. But I'm on the draw in the 3rd round. I guess we'll call it round 3 here. I did verify this person is in the league before we started the game this time. Now I've learned. And I have this hand that's pretty strong. And I would probably keep this hand in Legacy. Go Delverino. No Daze, no Force Will, obviously, in this format. Those are both pretty expensive cards. Temple of Deceit's a nice one. I wonder if that's better than Choked Estuary in my deck. Because, like, when you play 17 lands and 4 of them are Choked Estuary, you only have 13 ways to turn on the estuary, so it comes into play untapped. So it's basically a tap land. It's functionally a tap land. Come on, Delver. Just find it. Find it. Yeah. Got there. I get to start cranking. Just time to feed the beast and get into this treasure cruise. I don't know what sweepers are legal in the format. I assume there's some amount of them. I want the swamp. I want to be prepared. In my 17 land deck, I'm going to take the land drops where I can find them. As nice as Fairy Vandal is, I do have 2 threats here, and I have a Treasure Cruise to reload. As long as I can cast my spells and don't get like comboed out somehow, I'm feeling pretty good here. They bottomed with their opt. What do we got? Erebos' Intervention. That's a sweet card. Respectable. Oh, nice. Vandal. I'm going to do this all main phase because I want to get the trigger. Do I want this? I don't think so. I'm trying to Delver people here. The 3rd threat? No, thank you. Gotta load up that Treasure Cruise. Opponent just asked in the chat if this is for a video. They're right, it is. It's cool that the Penny Dreadful community watches my stuff too. Alright, so I'm gonna ponder to get my trigger off Vandal. I would like to find a counterspell. Alright, found a couple of them. Is this the mirror? I don't have Erebos' Intervention, and I don't think a 17 land deck would be able to play it anyway. So they might be an actual control deck. Alright, the beats are here. They're on a 2-turn clock, and I have Memory Lapse into Memory Lapse lined up. Yeah, I'm not going to fight over that. And overwhelming my Memory Lapse, like this is how they're going to win this game, if they get up to 5-6 mana and double spell through my 1 counter spell. But I don't think this is the classic, like, do you fight over the Fact or Fiction or the cards that it gets? I love that it just called Hieroglyphic Illumination Fact or Fiction. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere this turn, that player loses 1, target player mills 2. Alright, I wonder if this is a combo deck, or if that's just like a reasonable creature in this format. It's gotta be a combo deck, right? I mean, I can kill it. I have the thirst. I kind of hope they do cast another spell, because I'm not going to be able to cast 2 Memory Lapses on my turn. Like, I don't have the 4th land, and Sleight of Hand's not an instant. Alright, you get out of here. I don't even know what you're for, but get out of here. Mana Leak. So, I feel like if I lapse their Leak... This has to be a combo deck, and this card's got to be important to it. So, now my shields are down if they kill my creatures, but both of the creatures are lethal. They are currently watching my latest modern video. That rules. Okay, so I have 2 lethal creatures. So they have to kill 2 things, or they have to combo me out this turn. I don't know what the deck's capable of, so maybe they will. We got GG's in the chat. I wonder if that's a concession or a you're dead GG. I don't know the difference. Alright, cool. It was a concession. So we're playing against something that certainly appears to be a combo deck. I don't know what to do about that. Flunk, alright, I don't want Feed the Swarm. Sorcery Speed removal doesn't seem right, but I feel like beating this Guild Mage is going to be important. So I think I want Duresses. Like, I just want to know what they're doing. That's all I ask for. Just show me what you're up to, and I'll react to it appropriately with the cards that I have. I didn't see any reason to go after their graveyard, but Guild Mage, they could be milling themselves. This could be the Reanimator deck, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go super deep. I'm just gonna put in Duresses because they clearly care about spells, and then I'll pick them apart with my creatures. Can't cut Venser. Venser is the great equalizer. It beats stuff like random creature lands that I don't have other answers to. Tasigur, and yeah, I think I actually want to cut the Tasigurs. Oh, I need to cut another card. Yeah, I guess all the Tasigurs go. So Delver, Fairy Vandal, and Venser to win the game with, and then Tasigur is on the sideline. Yeah, that's fine. I think if I'm going to be delving cards, I'd prefer to cast Treasure Cruise to Tasigur. I'll just use my Duress to make sure it works. Yeah, this is fine on the draw. Okay, so if I draw an island or swamp and I get to opt or ponder, or I would ponder first. If I get to ponder on turn 1, that'll be great. Jealous of that. Didn't get there. It's fine. Nothing to reveal. So I can ponder into a swamp and cast Duress next turn, maybe. But, oh no. Whenever opponent loses life, they mill that many cards. Oh, okay, it's a Mind Crank Duskmantle Guildmage combo deck. Yeah, so the Guildmage makes it so when I mill a card, I lose a life, and this makes it so when I lose a life, I mill a card. Cool. Sweet combo. Do I want to... Yeah, I think I want to ponder and then Duress. That's a shuffle. I'm just looking for lands here. Probably should have Duressed first, so I knew what I was pondering for. Neutralize, Mind Crank, Illumination. So they can neutralize basically whatever next turn, but I think the Illumination is more important. Okay, so Mind Crank doesn't matter until they have the Guildmage. So I need to keep them off of Guildmage, basically. I'm going to Duress their Neutralize before I try to cantrip. Alright, so they made the smart play of casting Neutralize. Yep, alright, that's gone. And then Ponder for my land drop, I hope. Oh yeah, that's nice. So Heartless Act is an instant that can kill the Guildmage. And I am very much in the market for that. I'm going to need to find some pressure, though, like pretty soon. So the reason that you want to neutralize the Duress is that you should never give your opponent a choice when their choice includes a choice that you could make. So, like, Duress resolves, I have the choice of taking Naturalize or Mind Crank. But if they cast Neutralize, I only get Neutralize. So, like, you're basically giving your opponent a choice for absolutely no reason. If you let that resolve. Even if I'm likely to take the Neutralize anyway, just don't give me the choice. Alright, so I want that. I want the Heartless Act. Alright. How can I be so heartless? Alright, so now I have some memory lapses lined up. I can pull ahead on cards, but I need a threat. Alright, I'm gonna go for a land here. Hope it works. Oh, that's even better. Is it better? Is this what I want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is close. This is a tough call. Because if their one card in hand is a counterspell, alright, forget it. I have freaking Treasure Cruise, I'm gonna cast it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I forgot I get the sleight of hand in there too. So that's obviously the play, because I can protect it with Memory Lapse. Alright. I think it's gonna be hard to lose this game. I think I should run out the 2 Delvers. I'm like scared of this Mind Crank combo, but I'm pretty sure just jamming Delvers in right now when the getting's good is the play. Alright, 1 card in hand and it's Mind Crank. I'm about to untap into double Memory Lapse. I don't know how their combo actually... Well, I do know how it works. They do need to deal damage to me first. And then... Alright, revealing Memory Lapse. The jig is up. Alright, so if I have 3 Memory Lapses set up here. So these are worth 12 damage together. And the Fairy Vandal makes each of these worth 4 damage. So they're at 4. And I get to continue developing around that. Yeah, we're going to be able to take this pretty easy. And I can use the illuminations on my turn to buff the Vandal. Like, I'm not going to get greedy trying to divination here. Opt is nice. That can trigger on their turn. I'd like a land here. Got it. Okay. So now the memory lapses are pretty close to lethal. Just if we count each one as 5 or 6 damage, pretty sure my hand is just not beatable. But again, I don't know what's in the format. Alright, that's an interesting one to memory lapse. I guess I have to, because like double spelling around my lapse is how they're going to beat me. And I might as well commit them to casting this main phase. And I can untap with double lapse. Alright, down to 1 card in hand again. Feeling good. I feel like we can't lose this game at this point. Like, I can opt on my turn that turns it from a 2-turn clock to a 3-turn, or from a 3-turn clock to a 2-turn clock, and I have 2 memory lapses, which represent the 2 turns I need for my 2-turn clock. And we should be good to go here. Just got an extra threat into play. I have double memory lapse for their 2 cards in hand. Like, I could just lapse both of their cards, and they're dead on board. So we're in there with this. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to let them have that because it's not card advantage, just selection. Though I think lapsing it would also win the game, but why fire it off if I don't have to? Easy prey. Not so easy, is it? Alright, we got the GGs in the chat. Alright, they're looking forward to the video. Me too. This format's actually pretty cool. On to the next round. I'm on the play in the 3rd round here of the league. 4th round I've played. 3rd round of actual Penny Dreadful. I'm going to keep this. I have also verified this person's in the league. Good to know that that's a thing I got to do. So this hand needs both a threat and some more lands, which, I mean, is mostly fine because my deck has Treasure Cruise in it. I'll get there eventually, as long as I'm not dead first. Plains and Astrolabe. Alright. I wonder if this is the Reanimator deck again. Alright, Ponder. Pay me. Okay, I'll take this. Delver on the bottom. Don't shuffle. Draw. And then I can opt in the end step, which sets up Ponder plus Delver for next turn. Glimmer Post. Ooh, is Cloud Post legal in this format? Or is this just like a colorless land with some text on it? Ooh. I'm glad Yorion is not revealed. I don't know how much Yorion costs, but if Yorion's ever legal in this format, I'm just in for that whole season. So I want to cycle Illumination because I'm pretty far from 4 mana and I want both the cards, so this Scry on Opt isn't actually valuable to me. So really wanted to find a land here. I'm going to shuffle. Alright, so I can opt into a land still. Alright, I'm going to try that. Hope for the best. Show me an island. Yeah. Maximum velocity. Take these risks. Risk it for the biscuit, as they say. Also, all of that stuff feeds the Treasure Cruise, so I'm going to recoup that eventually. I think that the Tasigur is a flaw in the deck build here, because you have 6 delve spells, 3 Tasker, 3 Treasure Cruise, and you don't fill up your graveyard that fast. Like, there's no Thought Scour. I wonder if that card's legal. If it is, you should probably be playing it if you want to support 6 delve spells. Like, I think the 3 cruises are enough, and you should just find some other way to win than Tassiger. A Memory Lapse would be cool at this point. Alright, found some black mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're there on the cruise. Oh wait, no, that's not true. I'm 1 short on cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 7. Alright, I'm gonna attack first. See what happens. The Astrolabe makes this kind of tricky, because they could have anything. Like, you don't know that they're actually just a white deck. Maybe they're not. The good news is I know that Hull Breacher is not a 2-cent card. It's actually like a $100 card. Lapse of Certainty, that's like a white memory lapse from Planar Chaos, is probably in this format. Alright, yeah, just got my memory lapsed. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You never know. And the delve spells are a huge liability when the counter spells in the format is memory lapse. Like that's basically a hard counter. It's actually worse. It's like a hard counter plus time walk. Ooh, Maul Drifter. I'm jealous. That card rules. So I'm really gonna have to tempo out this opponent. I'm glad they left up colorless mana instead of white, because I don't know if Ephemerate is legal, but that would have definitely ended the game on the spot. I didn't cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination because I plan on hard casting it this turn. Like, I'm miles away from any of these delve things. I guess I could have played Tassiger this turn. If I cycled Illumination end step, then I could jam Tassiger. But then I'm never casting Treasure Cruise. I don't know. Is Tasker where I want to be? If I knew more about the removal in the format, maybe I would have moved in on Tasker. But just drawing more raw cards seems fine. I'm gonna have to beat Hardcast Mauldrifter starting this turn though, which that card is unbeatable. If you ever played Lore when limited. Okay, confirmed. Cloudpost is in the format. Officially terrified. What else is in the format? Is this like the full like Ghostly Flicker, Ephemerate, Pauper deck, or how deep does this go? The Astrolabe is nice. I miss that card. I might be the only one. I definitely miss it in Pauper. Don't really miss it in Legacy. I was completely ambivalent in Legacy about the card. Like, if you ban it, whatever. If you don't, whatever. But definitely in Pauper, I was a fan. Maybe that makes me a crazy person, but I can live with that. I was definitely a fan of the card. Oh god. Ephemerate is legal in the format, it turns out. Okay. Let's I don't know if that's right. Like, maybe them drawing 2 cards is fine and I should save this for a Mauldrifter. But get out of here with that. Yeah, I guess if I can stop a like 3-for-1, I probably should. Yeah, so like I said with the opening hand, I have 3 delve spells in my hand right now. I guess I'm 1 mana away from hard casting Tassiger, but that's never really something you want to do. And I'm never casting these 2 treasure cruises. And because Memory Lapse hit one of them, I'm already just like way behind on tempo and mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 mana right now. That feels like cheating. I'm over here playing Bloodchief's Thirst. You've got 9 mana off a Cloud Post. I'm sure Expedition Map is too expensive for the format. Sylvan Library probably is too. Or Sylvan, I know Sylvan Library is. Sylvan Scrying probably is too. So the cloud posts you do just sort of have to naturally draw them. I hope Flicker is too expensive. Now that we've seen Ephemerate, I'm worried about a lot of things. God, 6 mana for something. Mnemonic Wall. Oh wow, that's legal. Did they ban this in Pauper yet? I don't even know. I think they may have. But they're picking up Ponder instead of Ephemerate. That's interesting. Does that mean they have another Ephemerate? Or what does that mean for me? Delver. Not going to reveal that. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can cast a Cruise here, and I think I should. Right now, while they don't have blue mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just while they're sitting over there with their colorless mana, seems like the time to do it. Go, go, go. I guess I could have attacked with the other Delver. They can't kill it, but they do have 3/0/4s, so there's no reason to. Other than the memes, which I guess is a good reason to do anything. Oh god, a second cloud post. Alright, they have infinite mana. What is the plan? And them being gated on a single blue mana through the Arkham's Astrolabe has been my saving grace here. Alright, what I want to do is flip these Delvers, revealing Memory Lapse. That's my plan. Show me the lapse. Oh, they're just scooping? I feel like I didn't have it won yet. The Delvers were going to flip, and I was going to cast Ponder, but I mean, the game wasn't over. Interesting. Alright, so I feel like Nile Spellbomb, at least in some quantity, is going to be important. I've played against Mnemonic Wall enough in my life to know better. Alright, I'm going to board out the Taskers a lot because I don't actually think they should be in the deck. I will probably play against some kind of like aggro or stompy deck or something where a cheap 4/5 is actually good, but it's not any of the matchups we've played yet. I think Remorse is better than Duress because you do get to exile a card from the graveyard if you want. So 3 cards out, 7 cards in so far. Flunk against the wall deck, the blue-white wall deck. That doesn't seem very good. Flunk seems like it's only going to be good against aggro decks, which I don't know how many are actually in the format. Bloodsheath Thirst doesn't seem super important, and I'm gonna have to kill a Maul Drifter at some point, so I want some number of those. Feed the Swarm on Maul Drifter feels pretty bad, but my opponent wasn't really dealing damage to me, so maybe it's fine. 4 mana versus 5 life. Like, what would I rather pay against a Maul Drifter? And the Agonizing Remorses can clip the Maul Drifter before it's in play, too. So, there's something there. Yeah, I think this is what I want to do. I could cut Spellbomb for another Feed the Swarm. Yeah, just cheap answer to Maul Drifter, I think, makes sense. And they had their engine online last game, and they chased down Ponder instead of looping Ephemerate, so I'm not sure what we're going for here, but alright. Keep in my hand. I have an untapped Choked Estuary for the first time in my entire life. For what it's worth, I played Choked Estuary at the Pioneer Pro Tour, and it came into play untapped a similar amount of the time. That card is just not super reliable. Estuary, show them the island. Slight. Yeah, I'll take some memory lapses. All right. I've got the counter spells locked up. I feel like whatever this deck's going to do, it's going to cost a lot of mana and happen in the mid to late game. So having some lapses ready is going to be nice. I really have enough lands. Promise I do. But, alright, that's just going to sit and play for most of the game and make sure I don't die to a mnemonic wall out of nowhere. No sign of Cloud Post yet. They're on mono blue this game instead of mono white like last game. Ugh! Spoke too soon. Alright, there's that. I think I should cycle Illumination to try to get myself moving forward in this game. Especially, I've seen memory lapse out of them, so paying 4 mana for it at some point seems like kind of hopeful. But a threat. None of these are threats. Do I keep the opt or do I shuffle this? I think I just shuffle. Choked Estuary. Reveal the same island. I guess I've already played an island, so it's not the same one. And I'm going to hold up Memory Lapse, and then next turn I can hardcast Hieroglyphic Illumination. That's a difficult word to say. I've also appreciated how quick these matches are. Like, they haven't really dragged the way that they probably could in such a low power format. Alright, I'm going to flash in Fairy Vandal with Memory Lapse backup this turn, and then I'll worry about triggering it on the future turns. Like, I could play it right now, main phase, cycle Illumination, and it's a 2-3, but I think being patient on that is going to be worth a lot more. Alright, so they've missed their land drop a couple turns in a row now. So they must be holding reactive spells. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You definitely do that if you're missing your land drop. Let's get things rolling. I would love to have Spellstutter Sprite in the format against a deck like this. Unfortunately. Oh, another one. So they have 2 Ephemerates in exile, so they're going to draw 2 cards next turn. Wow, still missed their land drop after all that. Fairy Vandal get in. Fencer! Love that card so much. I think I just want to cycle, get my extra damage, keep my mana up. Yeah. Let's lapse some memories. And I can pop Spellbomb on next turn if I don't draw a cantrip to trigger Fairy. If I deem that even to be important, I don't know. They can ephemerate their way into some more cards here. Like, they still miss their land drop. They have 6 cards in hand, or 6 spells in their hand right now, and they're about to draw 3 more cards. I'm fine with all of that. If they only had 1 Wall of Omens, I probably would have ventured it on my turn, so the Ephemerates couldn't come back, but because they have 2, that doesn't do anything. Alright, hit the land drop. Nice. Bonder, sure. Venser really is just a 4 mana counterspell in this matchup. It's never getting through these 0/4s for damage, so this Fairy Vandal's gonna have to go coast to coast. Unless I find a Delver to supplement it. Did not shuffle the Ponder. Went to clean up. Love it. It's like one of the Ephemerates didn't even happen. Discarded Ponder. Wow. That scares me, actually. Like, genuinely worried about that. Alright, so I want to draw the extra card, get the extra damage, and keep my just general velocity moving forward here. I guess there could be something said about leaving up triple memory lapse or Venser plus lapse, but them being at 18, that is a multiple of 3. Making this a 3-power creature puts them on a 6-turn clock rather than a 9-turn clock. Ghostly Flicker. That card is messed up. But yeah, sure. That's not where this fight's going to happen this game. And flickering in response to Spell Bomb seems like a mistake. Like, because now Flicker's out of their graveyard. Why not just let that resolve? Alright, whatever. So Flicker's out of the graveyard. I don't need to worry about wall picking that up. But now I know that Flicker is legal in the format also, which was my other fear. Ooh, is there... Okay, Ephemerate. I could bounce this, but I just don't care. At this point, they've drawn so many cards. I'm going to fight over their payoff, whatever it is, and hope that Fairy Vandal can get the game done before that matters. And they ended up going to discard last turn, and they've just drawn 5 additional cards since that happened. Like 2 off Flicker, 2 off Ephemerate, and then 1 for their draw step. Yeah, 10 cards in hand. Let's see how many of them they end up discarding. And if they play like Mall Drifter here, that's just more cards in their hand. That's also more cards in their hand. Vandal, Vandal, Vandal. Coast to coast. Okay, Mall Drifter on the hard cast is not something I want to mess with. Just put that on top of the deck for next turn. Alright, they discard a card. Alright, Delver, nice. That speeds up the clock a bit, or it might, as long as it flips. It actually does matter. And Fairy Vandal's big enough to punch through a Mall Drifter at this point. I just have to worry about the Vandal plus, or the Mall Drifter plus Ephemerate. Like if they block, then Ephemerate, and then they just have millions of cards. They don't take any damage. They keep their Mall Drifter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they have so much mana. It's outrageous. Outrageous quantities of mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they're 1 short of casting Mall Drifter twice. Ooh. I will be happy to bounce whatever this is. Brain Geyser? Targeting who? Themselves? Okay. I don't even think I counter this. Like, does this matter? They've already made their land drop. They've been going to discard. Brain Geyser targeting themselves. I mean, sure. Go nuts. Yeah, that's not what I'm worried about. Like, Lotus Petal's not in this format. If my second round opponents to be believed, Mana Crypt and Mox Opal are, but that wasn't actually Penny Dreadful. So I think they're just going to end up discarding like 5 cards here, or 6 cards. Yeah, 6 cards. They geysered for 7, and then they're going to discard 6 cards. I'm actually going to deploy Venser here, because I have 2 of them anyway, and anything I bounce here is just like another card they have to discard. And that sets them back a whole lot of mana. Yeah, that was good enough. I mean, I don't think the game was quite over, but okay, yeah, it was. Delver flips. They're on a 2-turn clock, and I have 3 counterspells in hand. Yeah, that's good enough. On to the next round. I'm on the play in this round with a Ponder hand. This has some velocity up into a Tasigur or a Treasure Cruise, depending on what the matchup calls for. I hope we play against some sort of aggro deck. I would like to see some variety outside of control and combo. But, I mean, this is kind of an eternal format, so what do I expect? I'm going to keep all of these cantrips, just shred through the deck, fuel the delve spells. G2 Encampment. Alright, this feels like it might be an aggro deck. I'll take it. So I should be able to Tasigur next turn. I can opt Illumination and then 3 mana to Tasigur. So let's hope that this G2 Encampment deck is a deck that struggles with Tasigur. A turn 3 4/5 on the play is pretty good against mono red in most formats. Rump Shaker Kenra. I remember this card from Standard. Alright, 2/1 haste. A creature with toughness less than this creature's power can't block. Target creature with power less than this creature's power can't block this turn. Alright, so it itself can't block. I don't think I need that. Bloodchief's Thirst, hell yeah. Alright, that all feels pretty good for this matchup. Also, because of how Delve works, I can cycle, and then just Delve those. What a reasonable mechanic Delve is. Then Tasigur. Shred through the deck. Alright, 4/5 in play. I probably am not even going to block. With this Fistful of Bloodchief Thirst and Delver of Secrets, there's no reason to lose my Tasigur to a Lightning Bolt. I guess I don't even know what burn spells are legal in the format. I assume Bolt's been printed enough that you can play it. Alright, they didn't attack. That means they don't have it. Good. So, Bloodchief Thirst. Take out the creature that doesn't come back from the graveyard for free. I'm going to attack for 4 because I can Memory Lapse if they do have a Bolt, but I think they would have attacked if they had one. I'm going to opt because if I find a swamp, I can also kill this. Yeah, I bottomed that, by the way. I just drew a second one. Okay. When you're on the beatdown against the burn deck on turn 3, you're in a good spot. Frostbite. Ooh, Frostbite's a nice one. Frostbite, Burst Lightning. Okay, cool. Ace Hide Golem. Nice. Their deck is nice. Super cool. Alright. I still have removal spells. Let's flip this Delver. Swamp. Alright. Swamp doesn't flip Delver, but that's fine. Because Swamp does cast Bloodchief Thirst on this thing. And then I cast Treasure Cruise. Pretty sure Red Elemental Blast is not going to be a main deck card, if it's even legal in the format. And now we should overpower them? I guess depends on, is like Hellrider legal in this format? I don't know. Oh, Hellrider, called shot. Alright, now I might be in some trouble, because that card's actually terrifying. Having a like infinite knowledge about formats that exist and cards that exist is pretty nice here. I think I just desperately need a removal spell for this Hellrider. Okay, I'll count that as a removal spell for Hellrider. No reveal. So I attack, and then at the beginning of combat I bounce Hellrider and just hope to all the gods in the sky that they don't have a second one. Alright, land is good. Mana's bad. No! Okay, so I guess resolving and not resolving are the same thing. So at the beginning of combat, I'll bounce one of them, and then I can trade with Kenra for the other. But I do have to do it before combat so I don't take an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. I'm taking 5 here anyway. Ouch. So, trade with Kenra. Hellrider, huh? The sensibilities of this format are very different than Pauper, and I like that it has its own identity. I think I'm supposed to slight before I ponder. That sees more cards. Okay, I can flunk a Hellrider, and can I Venser the other one? Oh wait, I can flunk this one and Memory Lapse the other, and then Venser is ready after that. Can I opt along the way? Yes. Do not shuffle that library. So opt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put on top. So flunk this. Is it -5, -5? Then I can memory lapse the next one. And then treasure cruise. And I have to make sure I don't take 4 damage somewhere along the way. An axe hardened in the forge. That creature does not have haste. So I think I'll let this resolve. And then fight over the Hell Rider. This flips, right? I don't actually remember. I lost track of my ponder when I cast the op. No, this is Venser. This is not going to flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can treasure cruise and then Venser this and memory lapse the other thing. Treasure cruise is busted. Though we all knew that. Because we have brains and we can think. Blood Cheap Thirst, that's not what I want here. At least not yet. I'm going to bounce NX so I can attack with Delver. Like, I think I do need to push for damage to get this game over with before they figure out how to beat me. This costs 2 to activate, so I'm good on that for a little while. If they draw a land this turn, they can play NX and then also activate Get to Encampment, which is a little bit scary. Right, yeah. Okay, yep, that's the thing I was worried about. So do I want to go to 2 against this burn deck? I don't think so. This Delver. Flip. Didn't flip. Alright, Fairy Vandal. Do I want to start with that, or does that come later? I guess I don't have to decide yet. I'll take another lapse. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can slight again. Fairy Vandal. Don't really want any of this, though. So if I chump with Delver, then play out my Vandals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this has become ugly very quickly. Yeah, they did a really good job playing around memory lapse. This is an opponent who knows what they're doing. Oh, right. Eternalizing Kenra is not a spell. Good job. Well played. So I'm going to block the Kenra with a Fairy Vandal, and I'll take 2, I guess. So block this, I take 2. Then Vandal again. Can I flip my Delver, please? Flipped Revealing Opt or Ponder. Feed the Swarm. That's just what I wanted. Actually, that might be fine. This doesn't have a mana cost, does it? Lose life, it's mana value. Yeah, doesn't have one. It's a token, I think. Yes. Okay. We're good. So I don't really have great plays here. I can't attack because if they just activate Get to Encampment, if I attack with Delver and they activate Get to Encampment and don't cast a spell, I'm dead. So if they attack with NX, I trade with Delver, and they get 2 1/1s out of the deal. This doesn't have first strike, right? Okay, good. Alright, yeah, they get 2 1/1 shitters. I can... Oh, they get 1 1/1 shitter? Why? Oh, because it doesn't have 4 power. Got it. Okay. Didn't quite remember how that one worked. Delver's in play. I'm gonna Bloodsheath Thirst the Satyr. Gonna lapse the Hellrider. 2, 3, 4. Oh, they have so many cards in their hand. Yeah, I'm losing this game for sure. I need to Memory Lapse Hellrider, flip Delver, revealing Treasure Cruise, and then still get lucky. Like if they just cast Shock, I die. Alright, flip Revealing Treasure Cruise. Show me the money. Sleight of hand. Alright. So the game continues. I need to slide into Treasure Cruise and then still get lucky. That's not it. Hellrider. Attacks for 3. I can trade. Guess I should attack with this. They must not have the land to activate Get 2 encampment because they haven't played a land in several turns. And they've drawn Hellrider the last 3 turns in a row. So I can trade Delver for Hellrider. I go to 1 from the attack. If they've been sandbagging a land for some reason, I just lose. Jeez. That worked out well. Alright, I'm gonna put in Fairy Vandal and chump with that one. Or I can double block and kill it. Yeah, that's better. So I gotta find... Oh wow, that counts as a red creature. I guess it does, doesn't it? Alright, Treasure Cruise! Treasure Cruise! Cruise, 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 cruise. Oh. Nope, just 2 lands, and we're dead to the Hellrider trigger. GG, that was exciting. Now I know about Hellrider, Jesus. That's a card that exists in the format. So I think Agonizing Remorse is good enough. I mean, it does deal 1 damage to me, but it also answers Hellrider or Kenra out of the graveyard, both of which deal more damage than that. Tasker is excellent. Fencer is fine. What do I actually cut in a matchup like this? It's probably some Illuminations. And the Cruise is just the best card. The removal's all really important. Feed the Swarm is a little dangerous, but I think it's fine. Is Feed Exile? No, it all destroys. None of this exiles. Slight, Thirst. Maybe I can go a little thinner on Thirst. I don't want to go super skinny on it. Maybe Venser. But Venser and Memory Lapse really are the only counterspells in the deck. Can I cut a Sleight of Hand? Yeah, I think so. Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. Cutting cantrips never feels good, but the Tassiger was solid in the early game. I think if I had respected Frostbite a little more, I could have held up Memory Lapse in a way that was more useful to protect Tassiger. So this hand doesn't get on board. I'm going to be digging for a Tassiger early and often. I have the lapses to protect it because there's not going to be many 1-for-1 answers for Tassiger. Like they're going to have to commit 2 shocks to it or 2 bolts or whatever they have. And then if you Memory Lapse the second one, it's a huge blowout. So that's my plan. But I have to find the Tassiger first. Don't need that. Choked Estuary. Coming into play untapped like a boss. I'm gonna get a look at this hand right now. Map out the game. Anax, Ash Zealot. Ash Zealot attacks next turn. It has first strike and haste. Yeah, I'm just gonna strip the Zealot and then I can Memory Lapse that Anax for a while. Yep, no plays, no problems. I was looking for Tasigur, but I'll take a Treasure Cruise for sure. So I'm going to lapse Annex this turn. Let's see if they just start firing off Burst Lightnings in the end step on me. Like, is that part of their plan? Or do they need that to answer the Tasigur later? This is exactly the two cards they had that killed my Tasigur last time. It's Frostbite plus Burst Lightning. Gets up to 5. Nope. Treasure Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could just tap out for it. If I ponder first, like the ponder is like quote unquote free, but then ponder's not in my graveyard. And like if I keep the ponder, I just see 2 fewer cards total. I could also ponder this turn, memory lapse the Annex again, and then Treasure Cruise with mana up on the next turn. Yeah, that sounds better. I'd like to get a threat into play. Like a Delver or Tasigur here. Go a long way. Yeah, I'm definitely just going to sit on the cruise for a minute. Fairy Vandal is reasonable. Do I think I can race Annex with it? Probably not. Send you back again. Yeah, the cool thing about Memory Lapse is that the information we had about their hand continues to be good because they just keep drawing the same card again. All right, some bad news, though, is that this is going to die to a shock in response to Treasure Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can. Oh, they didn't bite it in response. There it goes. All right, they figured it out. Maybe. I mean, Frostbite still kills it, so there's not like any huge rush here. All right, so they get the Annex. I can thirst it. Like we treaded water so long that I can now actually answer this card. Burst Lightning and 1 mystery card in their hand. Continue feeding the Treasure Cruise. Reload the second round. Still don't think Reb or Pyroblast are legal in this format. All right, that's a threat. I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zap you. Get 1 Satyr out of that. Fairy Vandal can block a Satyr. Stromkirk Noble. Protection from humans. Delver of Secrets is a human. I think Tasigur might also be a human. I don't think he's an elf. I don't actually know. Alright, Slight fuels the cruise without triggering Vandal. Can I get both Vandals into play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I can get 1 in. Cruise, but they have the Burst Lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can Burst Lightning this in response, then I lose it. Hopefully I can answer the Noble before I'm dead. Alright, can't block. Stromkirk Noble. If this mono red deck overpowers 2 Treasure Cruises, I'm going to be super impressed. And right now, it's looking kind of sus. This get to encampment's been really solid. I will not trade my Delver with a Satyr. And I'm going to give it a chance to flip first. Plus, Fairy Vandal can just eat it next turn. I'd really like to find Opt or Hieroglyphic Illumination. What do we got? Don't sweat me in my draw step. Show me. Guess they're thinking about, like, should they kill Delver? So I should be playing like they have a shock. Fairy Vandal. Nope, I will not reveal that. No reason to slow roll lands. Time to attack. So my double Vandal, what can that do? Definitely arrives in combat. I could double block Stromkirk Noble or get to encampment, but either way I get absolutely crushed by a shock. So I think I'm just going to block the Satyr and accept the beats from the encampment and the Noble. Just try to draw a removal spell for that. Right, here's the shock that we knew about. Glad I didn't play into that. Okay, it's time to reveal Opt. Flip my Delvers. Dig for a removal spell. If I can get this Noble out of play, I'll be feeling good. Alright, Hieroglyphic Illumination. Opt, please. Tasigur. That's not the worst card I could draw here. So, 1, 2, 3. So, Tasigur is in fact a human. 1, 2. Yeah, I think I just want to exile everything and activate Tasigur. Alright, so they're going to give me Agonizing Remorse. But there is a Bloodchief Thirst in the graveyard now. And I will chump Stromkirk Noble with Fairy Vandal this turn if I get the chance. And Delvers are going in. I don't think I can take another 3 from this random creature. This thing is done 1, 2, 3. Oh, it is a 3/3 now. That means it's done 1, then 2. It's done 3 damage. I don't think I can take 6 from a single card against mono red. If they have removal for Fairy Vandal, then this gets in. Just human tribal here. Hellrider is like not that bad here. Not that I want to play against it, but it's not the worst. Okay, that's not a human. But it's now in the graveyard for Tasigur, so my Tasigur pool keeps getting worse. How about those Delvers? Ponder, yes. Okay, we're in business. I don't think I want to Agonizing Remorse them. Alright, Heartless Act. Hell yeah. This is can't be blocked. It's not protection, so that's actually reasonable. I'm not shuffling my library. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if I Agonizing Remorse them, at least I'll know that their hand is empty. But I'll be at 7. If they just shock me in response or Burst Lightning, then I'll be at 3, but at least I'll know. Burst Lightning, Conqueso. So I go to 4, then the Remorse puts me to 3. I imagine there's some number of spells in their deck that kill me, but at least I have Venser. Right, so I'm going to exile an Axe, I guess. I'm not sure if it matters, but there they go. Bang, bang, bang. Here they come. Alright, yep, they are on a 2-turn clock. They have to draw something that kills me. That's not it. Venser, go. Send this back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I don't block this, I'm at 1 and dead to anything. Okay, wow, that was surprisingly honest of them. That was a great game. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to block there or not. Maybe I am. I don't know. Close call. So now that I've seen Stromkirk Noble, I want my Bloodchief Thirst back. Agonizing Remorse seems a little worse than I want it to be, but I don't think it's bad. I just once you get into that mid game situation, it gets a lot worse. But I think having some to draw early is still fine. Tasigur is like the best card. Venser was phenomenal. I could cut a Venser for the sleight of hand. Like basically, I'm like weighing: do I want more options in the early game to make it to the late game, or do I want play in the late game once we get there? And I think having the late game play, like there's so many cantrips. Yeah, all right, I'm still gonna do this. Like I am gonna have to get on board with actual creatures and kill my opponent at some point. I'm keeping this. I'm on the draw, and like we saw last game, just spinning your wheels behind threats is not great. But if I can get on board and punch back while I answer their things, like imagine those like 3 turns where I cast Memory Lapse on Anax if I was attacking with Delver during those same 3 turns. Alright, they're super creaturey this game. Which is good because I have 2 removal spells in my hand, but I do need black mana to make it work. Let's find a swamp, please. Oh, Choked Estuary. So close. Alright, if I slight into an island or swamp, I can play Choked Estuary this turn. Alright, yep, that'll save me a lot of damage. Ooh, 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 ooh. This will have counters on it starting next turn. And this destroys target creatures with no counters on it. So I should actually do this. It'll hurt me. It costs me 1 more life in the short term, but long term, it'll be much better. This is also a legend in case they draw a second copy. Like, gives them a chance to brick a draw step. I almost fudged that one right up. Alright, Delver, get in there. I can take my beats from Icehide Golem. I'm gonna kill Zurgo. Alright, that's dead. Maybe I should actually, for the reasons I described, kill Icehide Golem. So basically the give and take here is that Zurgo is a legend. So if they draw a second copy, it's stuck in their hand. Versus Anax triggers off red creatures dying, and this is a colorless creature. So I think I'm actually going to play around the second copy of Zurgo before I play around the Anax. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but it's what I've chosen to do here. Deal with it. Right, so finding that untapped black source on turn 2 is the only reason we're in this game at all, but we do need to turn the corner here, jam a Tasigur or something before it's too late, because we are slowly bleeding out to these creatures. Though Venser is here to cause trouble. Right, Memory Lapse, Sleight of Hand. I think Venser, just leaving up Venser here is going to be better. Because if they like play some spell pre-combat, I could also just take 2 and bounce Venser in the end step. Or bounce Zurgo in the end step, and then I just have Venser in play. Icehide Golem. Yeah, alright. They were smart to cast that second main that like played around Venser perfectly. So now I'm going to bounce the Golem because Zurgo has dash, which is like a form of haste, and putting it in the hand does that. Alright, that's fine. It's another 2 damage that's not coming at my face. The Golden Fang, the Golden Boy. Alright, and I can even protect it with Memory Lapse, which is just absolutely insane. I guess I'll take an island. Alright, so you want to use Tasigur's Delve to make your graveyard juicy for when you activate Tasigur. So I don't think I want the Delvers. Sleight of Hand is pretty underwhelming. Yeah, I think just Venser and Heartless Act are the best cards to leave in my graveyard here. I really hope I get to Memory Lapse and kill something this turn. All right, I'll lapse that. Like, being ahead on board like this, that's exactly when you want to cast Memory Lapse. So Icehide Golem and Anax are the cards that they have. Activate this. Opt, Ponder, Heartless Act. That's a really good graveyard right now. They don't want to give me any of those. Yeah! Tassiger's too good. On to the final round. Alright, so we're on the draw for what is round 5 of the actual Penny Dreadful League, round 6 that I've played today because of that one person that didn't know what was going on. But we're playing for the trophy, kinda. I don't know if there are... So, my understanding is there are league prizes. Like, the people with the most 5-0s at the end of the season get some sort of prize. Like, it's all on PennyDreadfulMagic.com. I don't really plan on investing in the format like that to grind the leagues, but it is cool that it exists, and this infrastructure has been pretty strong. Like, reporting the results in between each round has been pretty easy, and finding a match, it's been basically instantaneous every round. So here we are, 4-0. Chose to shuffle their Ponder. We haven't seen this card yet. We haven't played against an Izzet deck. Estuary, Revealing Swamp seems like a fine way to start the turn. I'm going to continue Sleight of Handing on my turn. Then I can opt at the end of their turn, untap Jam Tassiger, if that seems like something I want to do. I could also have just pondered now. But I don't know what I'm playing against yet, and Ponder digs better than Opt does. Like, you can see up to 4 cards on a Ponder, you only see 1 or 2 off an Opt. Like, you always see 3 and sometimes see 4. Oh my god. Is Dak Faden in this format? What are they doing with that? I'm actually really scared right now. If they can start reliably destroying lands, I am never going to win. I gotta get Tasker into play right now. I think I want to just keep hitting land drops. I did bottom that, I just drew the card again, as usual. Okay, so options include just jamming Tasker right now. I could jam Tasker next turn with Memory Lapse backup. I think I want to slight Ponder Tassiger here. Vandal is a win condition. Ponder. Alright, Venser seems pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to have 4 mana very often. Oh, I just misclicked the Ponder. I still want all those cards even if they come in the wrong order. Sure, whatever. One, two, three, four, five. I guess if they have like actual shatters in their deck, then they could just shatter Tassiger, the same as they could shatter anything else. But if they shatter Tassiger, they're not attacking my lands, which I'm pretty cool with. And then next turn I can Fairy Vandal with Memory Lapse back up. And then I can bounce Liquid Metal Coating. Oh yeah, I'm just getting shattered here. This card's unbeatable. Wow. Messed up. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to beat. I guess they can only do like 1 a turn, maybe. Why aren't they playing this? They have a 2/1 creature they can put into play. Alright, they did it. They made their move. So I can Vandal and Memory Lapse, or just double Memory Lapse as needed. I don't want to main phase the Vandal because getting the Illumination trigger will tap me out of Memory Lapse, which seems like something I want to be doing. This coding. Remember that when I worked so hard to play Tasker and they just shattered it? And it wasn't even shatter, it was a 2-for-1. Yikes. So if they have 2 shatters, they can kill this land. Oh, is this Ingot Chewer? Wow, even better. You gain control of an artifact with... Wow, that's messed up. I don't approve of that. I have double lapse here, so even if they lapse me, I can lapse them back. I hope it doesn't come to that, though. Okay, good. I get to Vandal here. And then I can start drawing extra cards, scoring the Vandal, and still leave up Memory Lapse. And they didn't double spell, even though they had a lot of mana to do it with there. So that's a relief. I think cycling this is better, because that leaves up Fencer and Lapse. And I am going to push for damage. I don't think trying to turtle up and beat this control deck full of 1 mana 2-for-1 Vindicates is going to be the way forward. Okay, so they did actually pull ahead on cards here. This Lonely Sandbar picked up that Merfolk thing. I would really like to get Liquid Metal Coating out of play. I'm deciding if it's worth a land to do that. But I don't have a hard counter to follow up anyway. So I probably just want a Venser. I guess it depends on how much mana this Merfolk costs. I think it costs 3 total. That card. Do I care about that? No, I'll just have to get through that. But now I know Chain Lightning's in the format. I forgot to check if this opponent's actually in the league. I might be getting blown out here again. So I think I Venser the Merfolk this turn. And then, because that uses my mana the best and continues applying pressure, and then I can Treasure Cruise my way up. Three. Alright, so just another thing I can do is I can let this resolve so I can stop playing around it. I can just bounce Estuary with Venser. Yeah, okay. I think I like that better. I'm just going to pick up my land. You get nothing. Like, I could just keep treading water against this thing, or I can just get it out of the way. I can beat a 2-1 creature. I can't beat, like, infinite land stealing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it's time to cruise. Pretty sure if they had a Spell Pierce, they would have cast it on my Memory Lapse the turn before. Alright, correct. Alright, I have so many lands here and more cards in hand than them. They have to have multiple shatters over multiple turns to really mess me up. And I am behind, but it's not by that much. And I have another cruise on deck here. And any land they shatter feeds the cruise. Obviously the land being in play also pays for cruise, so I would prefer that just didn't happen. Crystal Shard. Fuck. Alright. I'm not beating Crystal Shard. At least not without some serious tempo. Like Temple Shard or Crystal Shard can pick up the Shatter Monster. Oh, this has flying. I was like, alright, yeah, trade easy. But nope, has flying. So they get to steal one of my lands every turn until I answer a Crystal Shard or Liquid Metal Coating. Both of which are things my deck is not good at doing. Oh, and they even get to shatter right now, too. Ugh! Their deck is so cool. Okay, so before I dedicate any more effort to this, I'm going to make sure this person's actually in the league. Alright, so this is, yeah, okay. They are in the league. This is a real match. Okay. Let's make sure all this is real and legit. Ponder, let's go. Opt, opt, opt. All of these ops fuel the treasure cruise that I will eventually cast. So opt send this land to the bottom. Elimination is Dece. I am behind on the damage race and on the losing all of my permanence race. So I guess to beat this deck, I have to like discard all these enablers before they arrive. So my duresses and my agonizing remorses are coming in. Memory Lapse and Venser can just tread water for a couple more turns, but the fact I'm this far behind on board is brutal. Yeah, just 2 mana, destroy a land every turn for the rest of the game. I guess it's actually 4 mana, because they have to cast this thing. And if I can Heartless Act Thieving Skydiver in response to Crystal Shard, that does break up the loop too. Alright, so I have plays. Oh, Flunk is also live. Flunk and Heartless Act are my instants that I have in the deck. And okay, so they shard, that costs 1. It costs 3 to cast this thing. Memory Lapse, so it's like a 4 mana play that gets Memory Lapsed. I think I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm gonna have to be. It's the play I have available to me. It is kind of awkward for them that they've had to commit bouncing their clock to... you need some blue mana in there, unless you're casting a different spell. They've had to undo their entire clock on board in order to maintain their artifact game. Alright, so now I'm ahead on board somehow. Not sure when that happened, but here we are. And my treasure cruise is ready to rip. Alright, that's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, Delver, hello. Alright, I found the Flunk, that's great. They are going to get to steal a land, because the thing does get to resolve, but I can kill it before they can pick it back up. And at this point, they're behind enough on board that they could just steal Delver. Yuck. Didn't think of that one. But Venser can just bounce Delver, and then it's back in my hand. So we have sort of a long-term plan here going. And this card, does this card block? Yeah, okay, I guess it does. For some reason, I thought the creature version of this doesn't block. I'm thinking of Rimrock Knight. Got it. Figured it out. Okay, so they're spending a lot of mana doing stuff other than stealing my Delver. Oh, they don't even see the Delver play. They're still going after lands. I think I'm going to get to flunk this thing. Alright, so it comes into play. Target artifact X or less. Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have taken my Delver and just didn't. And they didn't leave the mana up to Crystal Shard in response, so you get my land, but Venser can bounce it if I even care, but I don't think that I do. Yeah, we're somehow digging ahead of this. I thought for sure this game was over a long time ago. Oh, by somehow I mean Treasure Cruise. Like, I don't understand how the game where we resolved multiple Treasure Cruises were ahead. Shut up, Ryan. Okay, I'm gonna attack with my 3 power. Just gonna hold up the backup Venser. If they don't do anything that I care about, I can just Fairy Vandal and hardcast Illumination, get a trigger immediately, and reload my hand. If they do something I care about, did I count wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's right. If they do something I do care about, I can Venser it, plus still deploy Fairy Vandal. I'm actually feeling kind of ahead here. Yeah, getting this thing out of the mix. That was important. Ugh. This match has been crazy. This format is super cool. And navigating it on the fly, like not knowing what any of the decks are, has been a lot of fun for me. Chain Lightning by Delver. Yeah, that's fine. That is not what I'm going to fight over, especially since I don't actually have the ability to fight over it. Like, Venser bouncing it, they just cast it again. And Venser doesn't even add to the board because it's a legend. Alright, here's this jerk again. They are tapped out of red mana, so I don't need to worry about that getting picked up and shot back in this turn. Alright, time to find out if they play any counterspells. Oh, they can also bounce my creatures with Crystal Shard if I tap out, but I'm going to do it. I would still prefer them bouncing my creatures than their own. Yeah, you bounce a creature unless its controller pays 1. Like, generally, this is to bounce your own things. You just always choose not to pay 1, but there is the secret flavor text on it of actually bounce an enemy creature. Ooh, Muddle. That's pretty strong. Let's keep the party going. I'll take this. We'll do this. A land would be pretty cool. Alright, nice. Alright, I like that Tasigur also. Alright, so the land means that I can Bloodchief Thirst their idiot and still hold up Venser. And now we're on the actual beatdown. Alright, we're in there. They're on a 3-turn clock, and I have Venser that can buy me some breathing room. And Tasigur is coming down next. I could even Tasigur with Venser protection if they don't do anything I care about this turn. Wow, just ship it. Alright, cool. I think we broke up their engine and now they're just sitting on nothing. How about Venser, by the way? MVP. Ooh, gonna shatter me in combat. They play Actual, Factual, Ancient Grudge. So I could Venser. I don't think I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna fight over that. I'm gonna protect Tasigur with my Venser. That is the plan. All right, 1, 2. Actually, I think that I want the Fairy Vandals in there because I want to keep damage on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I like Flunk? I might like Flunk. No, I don't. Alright. Tasigur is on the stack. Memory lapse. Do I care about that? So if I Venser their memory lapse, then I get hit by Ancient Grudge. So no, that's fine. I'll just recast that card next turn. Alright, flashback. If you flashback a card and it gets bounced, it still gets exiled, so Venser still plays here. But they need to save that Ancient Grudge for the Tasigur. And I'll just keep beating down in the meantime. They are at 5. And if they Ancient Grudge this Venser right now, I'll be so happy. Because I'm going to lose it to the Legend rule anyway. As soon as I deploy the one in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I've made a mistake. They can... I forgot about the increased delve cost. Alright, good. Didn't matter. I forgot about the increased delve cost, and they could have just bounced Tasigur with Crystal Shard. But I'm still at the point where I can just hardcast it every turn. Please Ancient Grudge this. Ancient Grudge. Ancient Grudge. Yes. Okay, cool. Now I don't even need to Legend roll my Venser when I cast it. We got game to play here, folks. I think I want to deploy my Venser and bounce Liquid Metal Coating. Like, I don't have enough Delve to, or I could just take my Estuary back. But I think... Yeah, I actually think that's nice. Like, all these cards they can just replay. It doesn't matter that much. Thank you. Do they have a spell? Doesn't look like it. And I'm just at full hardcast Tasigur mode at this point, and they're at 1 life. Let's see, are you in? All right, you're in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might as well exile that. I don't care about it. Okay. They're at 1, facing down 2 attackers. I can pay for Crystal Shard. I can Bloodchief Thirst a creature. Even if they steal one of my creatures, I can Thirst it. This has been insane. This was a study in Treasure Cruise being broken. Yikes. Alright, so I think I just need all of the discard spells in. Because I just need to clear their stuff before it gets online. Like, get ahead of the engines. I don't think I want Bloodchief Thirst in the deck. I think I need the instants. Tasigur is a huge liability. With how between Crystal Shard and just Shatter and all those things, like, I think I'd prefer to play with the small creatures. And who else? Like, I love the instants. Like, being able to punish Crystal Shard is nice. Venser was a huge deal in that game. And maybe I just go to 1 or 0 Tasigurs. Could that be right? I mean, they've shown me Memory Lapse also, which is also really good against Tasigur. Yeah, I think this is the play. Just clear the way with discard and punch in with my little guys before they get to steal and destroy all my stuff for no mana. Alright, so on the draw, I'm going to keep this hand. I think Delver is one of the better cards that I could have here. That's the sort of thing that gets under their pressure. There is a Duress in the hand, so if I draw a black source, I'm just going to Duress them up front. But if I don't, I'll just jam Delver. Let's just try to get in there and apply pressure under there. Their engine is powerful, but it is like, it's quite a contraption they're trying to assemble. Yikes. Or they just curve into it perfectly. Either way, you know, samesies. Yes, reveal this, draw. Ponder, I'd really like to find a swamp. Yikes, just more black cards? Sure. I'm just going to use Sleight of Hand to get ahead of all this. I think the Heartless Act is what I need here. If they can steal or destroy my lands this turn, we're going to lose very quickly. They can get the hooks in this quick. Especially if it's a Skydiver. Just steal a land. So, like, Frenzy Tilling, turn 3 Frenzy Tilling on the draw against an opponent who's already stuck on mana. Okay. That's like a normal Magic card that I'm prepared to play against. Probably still going to lose to it, but at least it's not a Liquid Metal Coating thing. I did also remove basically all my answers to this card from the deck. Like, Heartless Act doesn't kill it because it has counters on it. I wonder if that's part of the plan. Like, they just pivot onto just a normal deck after it being such a weird deck. I can probably safely concede this game already. But in case they show me more things, like knowing that they have Sprite Dragon is important. But they still have Liquid Metal Coating too, so it's not like they're off that plan. And now, even if they don't do anything else the rest of the game, even if they just cast like 3 Memory Lapses, I am going to lose to the Sprite Dragon. Swamp. Not a swamp. Alright, so I'm going to discard a Agonizing Remorse. And now I'm just going to Memory Lapse literally anything they put on the stack and pray to draw a land. Okay, maybe not that one. Any permanent I would have done. Yeah, I have to Venser this thing somehow, and even that's not a good answer. Oh, I can almost cast that. That's the funny part of this. Oh, I forgot to play Fairy Vandal. I was supposed to do that. Whoops. They didn't give me something to lapse, and the point of Fairy Vandal is that you get to leave up Memory Lapse, and if they don't cast a spell, you get to play a threat, and I just, didn't. Not interested. Okay. I'm not going to lapse that either because it doesn't matter. They already have one that they're not really using. I'm not going to ram this in just to chump with it, especially if they have a Memory Lapse. I don't want Sprite Dragon to get bigger in combat. But if they have Memory Lapse, I'm dead because I have to draw this card again that's not helpful. Well, that was a stern kicking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I cut all of the Blood Chiefs? I did, but I'm going to Treasure Cruise like I didn't do that. I'm going to pretend that Swamp Bloodchief Thirst is still an out. And it's not. And we're dead, yeah. This thing is a 5/5. They cast any spell at any point. I lose, and I can't remove it even if they don't do anything the rest of the game. Okay. Stern Lessons. So Bloodchief Thirst in some number should come back in. Like, I do need to be able to answer that card. I think I want to spread around the Agonizing Remorses and Duresses. And do I want the 3rd Thirst or the 3rd Duress? Yeah, I don't want to lose to Sprite Dragon, which is a much more real plan to beat me than the Artifact thing is. Like, the Artifact thing is cool, but it's hard to put together. Sprite Dragon, you just need to cast, so having answers to that, really important. Okay, so I'm on the play here with a hand that I would have been pretty content to keep in any of the previous rounds, but this is a little weird. Like, I would really like a discard spell, but I do have the black mana. Alright, I'm going to keep it. Keeping one-landers against this deck that can easily destroy lands has me really concerned. My opponent having found a way to play reasonably efficient land destruction in a format that isn't built to beat that is pretty cool. Cool in the sense that I respect it, not cool in the sense that I'm happy to play against it. So hopefully I just draw a land and I can play Vandal. Didn't happen. Time to ponder for a land. Okay. Do not shuffle my library. And then I can sleight of hand and opt to see the same cards, but opt triggers Fairy Vandal and sleight of hand doesn't, so I'm going to sleight this turn. And I'm pretty sure I want the ponder. Like, I'm a long way away from cruising, and hitting my land drops, finding specific answers is going to be a big part of this matchup. Right, so like pondering into a duress would be pretty nice, or like if I draw a land, finding Agonizing Remorse, like really see their hand, see what I need to beat here. All good stuff. Delver, never sad to see you. So let's ponder. This is a lot of lands, but I don't think that's bad here. I mean, my Delver's not going to flip, but it doesn't have to. I actually don't even need to play Delver. I can play Fairy Vandal, which is just better than Delver in this same board state. So by not flashing it in, I give them a chance to counter it, but by flashing it in, I remove the chance to chain lightning it. The fact that we've seen chain lightning twice in this league and no lightning bolt makes me think that bolt's not legal. I'm also representing a counterspell by holding up 2 mana. Of course I don't have it though. Now they can do the shatter thing. God damn it, that's so good. Alright, I'm gonna have to punch through with my Vandal and Delver and just race this. There's not really another plan. I hope I put my Swamp second down. Of course I didn't. Alright, it's fine. The Swamp is here, so I'm gonna keep my black mana. And I'm gonna hide it for a turn. Not gonna expose it to the coating if I don't have to. Alright, the pressure's on. Now they'll have to decide if they want to shatter my lands or my creatures, and every shatter they use on a creature is a resource I get to keep around for a little while, and every shatter they use on a land is pressure I get to keep in play, so kind of put them in the pinch here. Very excited to see that. All these cards that I left in my deck specifically to answer this are ready to party. Especially if they're counting on this to block. And I'm going to save my Illumination for my own turn. Like, I can cycle it on my turn to guarantee a trigger off Vandal. And then that'll get it out of Chain Lightning range. They did not shuffle. So, okay, cool. I was hoping that they wouldn't play a Mountain there and Chain Lightning me, and they didn't, so thanks. Alright, Delver. Let me. Fairy Vandal, nope. Okay, so Bloodchief Thirst. Just get that out of the way. Fairy Vandal. So I'm playing around Spell Pierce here, which I don't even know is legal in the format, but I've certainly played around it pretty well. That was a pretty sneaky little turn. Like, had enough mana to pay for a soft permission through the Thirst. The Vandal is not a non-creature spell, and then the Hieroglyphic Illumination is not a spell at all. So that was pretty fun. Alright, that's better than stealing it. Deal. That Grudge, if they find the Astrolabe, will be able to answer another thing. Treasure Cruise. Island, no, that's not what I wanted. He couldn't grow the Fairy Vandal, so this was a pivotal turn where we really needed to find some forward momentum to keep this party going, and just didn't. Also, I just have this one Swamp hanging out here. If they can easily steal or destroy a land, they have a very good target. Gotta hope to dodge that Astrolabe for a while. This Ancient Grudge is scary. Oh no. Now they have the Stealer. At least I'm glad they killed the big one last turn and stole the small one this turn. Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise. Swamp. Alright, I guess I'll give them the option to trade with Delver. The board is stable, but they have these crazy engines in their deck and I don't. I have Treasure Cruise versus their all of this. Like, Crystal Shard gets this thing online. Alright, Sprite Dragon just being a creature is pretty good on this board too. I've used 2 of my Thirsts already and there's only 3 in the deck. Yeah, I think my window to draw spells and keep the forward momentum going, and I drew the 2 lands. It's no good. Oh god, they're also a Treasure Cruise deck. I guess I should know that, because why would you not be? They did exile their Ancient Grudge to cast that, though. So they're a little bit color screwed over there right now. Not sure if it matters. Yeah, pretty sure these 3 lands in a row. When the game was... We were ahead, and then we were kind of close, and now we've just slowly but surely fallen behind. Not a bad... 4-1 is not a bad for early showing. First time ever experiencing the format. I'll take like one more draw step, probably, and then just get out of here. Yeah, the front half of this triggers Sprite Dragon. This deck is powerful. Definitely feel like this is existing on an axis more powerful than anything else I've seen in the leagues. I am dead. I'm not going to keep playing through this. I'm dead next turn. Treasure Cruise is my only draw that even remotely plays. Let's see if I was drawing it. Nope. Alright. So that was fun. 4-1'd my first league with Penny Dreadful. I just finished up the league. I recorded my final round. This is on pennydreadfulmagic.com. And they give you your stats and stuff. They give you your deck list, the mana curve in the deck. League 4-1, and then tells me all my opponents, what they were, what happened in our league, whether or not it was an active league run. Oh, okay. Now I see what's going on here. They tell me what my opponent was playing unless they're in an active league run, because they don't want to give away the information. That's cool. So I have the stats of everyone I played against, what they were playing, my total record in the league, and you can just refire these as often as you want. They're free to join, and then you get some sort of rewards or at least some cool stats at the end of it. Really cool stuff going on over here at pennydreadfulmagic.com. If you just want to play constructed Magic, if you like to brew, the decks by definition only cost like a couple dollars. So check this out. The format was definitely cool, like discovering what people are up to. We played against 5 very different decks, or 6 if you count the person who was not playing Penny Dreadful. So as far as this sideboard goes, without understanding the metagame, Feed the Swarm being a sorcery sounds kind of medium. Like, I don't know what enchantments we need to remove in the format, but every deck had creatures, so maybe Feed the Swarm could be something like more Heartless Act. This card felt pretty solid, being an instant and everything. I don't know if I love the Tassigers, especially alongside the Treasure Cruise. Like, maybe Tassiger should be in the board for aggressive matchups, because you really don't want Tassiger and Cruise in your main deck at the same time. So I'd probably sideboard that guy. The Memory Lapses, the Fairy Vandals, that all felt really good. The Cantrip suite was really sweet. LOL, sweet. But yeah, move the Tassigers to the sideboard. Maybe Feed the Swarm should be Heartless Act or something else. And other than that, sweet deck. A lot of fun playing it. Venser was a house as usual. And thank you all for watching. Duocat, thanks for asking me to do this. Everyone else, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.